commercial. Alright, this is a commercial for, this was the artifact that I used for my speech for my junior year. So let's take a look at it.
What, blocking someone's view?
Basically, what that was.
You're good, Aaron showed up.
Awesome, cool. Well done. Alright, so what that was done by UNICEF to convince people that more needed to be done about violence against children and warfare. And essentially, what I ended up doing, which what you will do with communication analysis, is you take the artifact, you find a method or an article in a communication journal that focuses on a similar area of communication or field of study, and you use that to build a research question which you structure your speech around. Now this research question can address the effectiveness of the campaign, the way upon which the people went about showing or displaying what they were aiming for, and then after explaining how the ideas behind the artifact itself and explaining the method, you then at the end of the speech address you look at some implications. What does it mean? And you also, before the implications, you answer your own research question. Sometimes it's a yes or no question. Like in this case, I vaguely remember my question being something about, was the UNICEF ad effective in changing people's opinions or getting them to act on the issue of war with children? And my answer was no, because people just saw it as a cartoon. You're seeing Smurfs. It's not even cartoons of real people. So it comes into different issues. Let me just work this.
Is there like a shadow button on that?
The standby button again.
Technical snag.
There we go. Sweet. All right. Now that we got that small technical issue out of the way, all right. Basically, what the things that have to be in this speech is the artifact has to be persuasive in one manner or another. And what you want to do by the end of this speech is to basically enhance the audience and the judge in particular's appreciation of both the artifact itself, but you don't want to forget the methodology that you're using too. The article that you're using also has to be relevant, it has to be important, and it has to address the field of study and the angle that you're taking in regards to what your review of the artifact itself. You can use audiovisual aids. For all of my speeches for CA, I never did, just because it becomes an issue of lugging a television around, lugging a computer around, making sure the computer works and the video works, as well as getting the cords. So that's something that you want to address early on when you're looking at your speech, whether or not you can drive home the point of your artifact without an aid of some sort. Now you don't need to use an audiovisual aid. There's some artifacts like campaign ads that are done in the print that you just have a visual aid, you put it on a stand, and it's real simple to do, and you just go from there. Now, obvious, like all other PAs, and in speech, it's a 10-minute time limit. You can't go over 10 minutes. So that's that. Basically, what this speech does is it explains, analyzes, and evaluates a communication artifact. So it can range anything from an advertisement to a text to a symbol to a movement. Some people even use theories. What I did my sophomore year was there was a blog online that was run by a former Republican who had come out of the closet and was calling out other Republicans who were in the closet. So basically, you can do something like that. You can do a website, you can do a commercial, and then my senior year CA was a Canadian television show called Little Mosque on the Prairie. Take off on Little Home on the Prairie, and while not many people in America saw the show, it's you don't need to have a purely American or purely well-known campaign to drive home the point of your speech. Now, what you need to do is analyze this artifact through a significant rhetorical article or theory, and you need to present new information about the topic. And there needs to be a level of cohesiveness between the artifact itself as well as the methodology that you're using. You can't have divergent ones that don't make any sense, and then you draw it together at the very end. An example of this was my first CA, my senior year, which was on a University of Michigan program to send books to Iraq. While it was an awesome idea, and there was a lot of great articles, and there was a lot of communication articles about it as well, nothing ever really matched what the program was, and in the end we ended up scrapping the CA because there was no cohesiveness, and there was in the end no